Facebook. So I'm gonna try to. Okay, so now we're live on Facebook. So we are live on Facebook, about ready to start the U-Turn show. I got my special guest, William Josie Wells. So we're gonna start the U-Turn show in about 1 minute. So I'm gonna share this to your page. And thank you guys for tuning in. Okay, so I did share it to your page, so it should be right for your page. Appreciate it. Well, and so hopefully, people will come in and interact with the show when they see us live. So we got about a minute to go, so we're gonna start the show, and we should hear the introduction music in the background. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. You are now live at the U-Turn Show. I am your host, Richard A. Taylor. We're here live, WBIS 106.9 FM LP, Awesome Radio. Make sure you guys check us out at WBISAwesomeRadio.org and go to the website and download all of our apps. The Google Play Store, also on Alexa, and the Apple Store. Please also continue to interact with the show via live on Facebook. Welcome all of our Facebook viewers. Make sure you interact and comment. We certainly appreciate your support. And also our live call-in line at 252-756-2008. Once again, we certainly appreciate all of our regular listeners, all of our regular Facebook viewers. Your support is not going unnoticed, so we thank you guys. And once again, I want to give honor. First of all, give honor to God for allowing us to be here once again on this weekly show every 10 p.m. every Tuesday. First, also want to thank Ms. Akila Thigpen, the CEO and founder of Awesome Radio, for once again allowing me to share her platform. And I definitely want to give honor to our special guest today. This young man has an unbelievable testimony, a story of triumph and trials that we're going to share with them today. I met him out promoting my books, and he was kind enough to buy one of my books, and he told me about what he does and his situation and the things he does. So I told him I was going to get on the show, and this was probably a couple of months ago. So we're finally on the show, but I definitely want to introduce Mr. William Josie Wells. How you doing, sir? All right, so your phone is on mute. Your phone is on mute. You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, my man. Hey, I appreciate this opportunity to come on your show tonight and just give a little testimony, and hopefully, our words together can help change somebody's life.
All right, and we're gonna just get right into it, man. You are from Kentucky, right? I
yes,
know
sir.
Everybody hears the accent. Now we country down here in Goldsboro, North Carolina, too, but there's a different certain drawl that we got from the Midwest. So give us a little bit about your hometown down in Paris, Kentucky, right?
Yes, sir, man.
Tell us how it was for you growing up.
I'm from a small town in Kentucky. We're about 15 minutes north of Lexington. It's called Paris. We got about 10,000 people in our hometown, and we're a tight knit community in a way, but in a way we're kind of divided as well. So When I say division, I'm not meaning like black or white or nothing like that, man. We're more divided when it comes to sports, you
Oh,
know. So we're a small sports town, man, and you know, we unfortunately we have a lot of athletes that don't make it out of our hometown. We tend to fall victim to the streets,
okay.
and you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm here talking to you now.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna get into that, but you did mention something that I want to bring up because you said it's not that much division of black and white. But you told me a little bit about your childhood, how that affected you. Um, you said
Okay.
you was born in '72 when interracial relationships weren't that popular. So how did that
Right,
affect you?
man. You know, I was I was a biracial child, man, born in 1972 in Kentucky. So if there's any viewers on here, you can only imagine, you know, the situation back then.
Uh,
Um, my grandparents they migrated from New Jersey down to Kentucky. My mother's side of the family, they're what you call gypsies. You know, they migrated and traveled around.
okay.
Um, my grandparents, you know, they told red palms and stuff like that, like at fairs and carnivals and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So, you know, my family, you know, migrated down here to Kentucky, man. I was born, like I said, in 1972, man. There wasn't too many mixed kids running around, you know what I'm saying, a small town like that, man. So, you know, I lived in the projects, you know, grew up in the projects. So, you know how it is in the projects, man. You got to scuffle a little bit, man. So, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't, you know, a lot of people may have portrayed me kind of like on the white side, but once, you know, they figured out, man, you know, that, you know, I had a white mother, but I mean, we grew up in the projects. We grew up along all the other brothers, man. So
Yeah.
I had to make my way, man. So, you know, unfortunately I did.
Yeah, so yeah, because that we are. I'm kind of light skinned too, so with the light skin guy, what got that kind of stigma that we saw for, so we got to prove ourselves. So me and a couple of my friends had to kind of fight a little bit, but I'm glad you made it to a certain level, and you also talked about athletics, and
Yes.
we talked about your foray into athletics, and you told me you were pretty good on the field.
Yes, man. I was a heck of an athlete, man, in high school. Track, I ran track. I mean, basketball as well, but you know, I was more of a football guy, man. I was kind of aggressive, you know.
Hmm.
I mean, I was laid back, but I could be aggressive as well, you know. So football was something that I liked. I could run fast, so I like to hear the wind, you know,
Uh-huh.
going through my ear holes, man, when I was running. So you know, my town, man, back when I graduated in 1990. So I
Oh,
grew up, you know, all in the 80s.
all right.
So you know, in those 9 years span in the 80s, man, my high school, they won 3 state championships. So, you know, we was breaded, man, to play football. You know,
And
that's what we did.
if anybody knows anything about Kentucky, like everybody I meet from Kentucky is like down, die hard, football fans about their sports and basketball too, because
Yeah, most definitely.
as they had that nice run where they had all the players. So Kentucky has a very serious athletic background. So you play sports, and then we you moved on until after high school. So what did you do after high school?
Yeah, when I graduated high school, I had an older cousin that was in the Navy. Um, he was stationed over in Virginia. So, you know, growing up in a small town, man, like none of our parents had cars or anything, man. Like we walked around pretty much everywhere we went, you know, or if there was only one car in the household, you know. Today everybody got a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but back then though, man, like you know, we I mean we did what we had to do, man, to make it, to survive, you know.
okay.
So
So then, like, so you chose to go to The military.
The Navy, yes.
Yeah.
I went to the Navy, man. I went to the military, um, and I mean I loved it, man. You know, like, but it was a culture shock though, coming from a small town, going to an airport in Atlanta. Never been to an airport before. You know,
Wow.
then go to boot camp. I mean, you're surrounded by 80 people, man, that you don't know. People, you know, from all different walks of life, man, from all different states. Uh, but I thrived though, man. I thrived because of athletics. You know, when we was in boot camp, I was like probably one or two of the fastest people out of the 80 that we had there.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, man. So I mean, I actually thrived in the military, man. I liked the military. I traveled all throughout the United States.
okay.
Um, but the military is really where I first met people, man, that were doing illegal stuff for real.
Oh,
Because because when I was smart, when I was, younger, man, I was all about sports, man. I didn't hang out on the corner. I didn't do none of that, man. I would, so the military is when I actually, seen like illegal stuff and people making money doing illegal things.
okay. So how long did you stay in the military? Because we actually met in Norfolk, which is the Navy town that you was at. So how long
Right.
did you stay in the military?
I was in the military for 4 years.
Four
I
years.
stayed, yeah. So I was in the military from 1990 to 1994.
All right. So then after that stint in the military, that's when you moved back home.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we talk about, you actually told me something about your hometown when we first talked. You was like, a small town of 10,000 people. There's nothing there but what? Drugs and sports, right? You know,
Yeah.
the
Yeah. That's what it was back then, man. You know, there was no opportunities. I got out of the military in 1994, man. There wasn't a place in my hometown where you could make money. You know what I'm saying? Working. You
okay.
know, you would have to go travel to like Georgetown, which is like, a 20-minute drive. And, it was mostly all factory work, um,
Definitely.
Toyota manufacturing, I think it was in like 89 or something. They came over to a place called Georgetown, which is like 15 minutes away from here. That was the place to work. In 1994, if you was working at Toyota, you was making 18, $20 an hour, and that was good money, you know. But
Yeah.
everybody's not built for factory work.
Yeah, factory work, and that reminds me of my hometown of Goldsboro, North Carolina, where we got a lot of factory jobs, and they pay decent money. And other words, you got other ways to make money. So I guess you came home and seen an opportunity uh,
Yeah,
to
man.
to get in
Yeah,
the game because of what you saw. So tell me a little bit about that. How did you get into the criminal drug selling career? And we can be
man.
honest because we can talk
Yeah,
like
man. It was man, I
uh,
came home in 1994. Um, I had my first daughter was born in 93.
okay,
So, coming home, I had aspirations, man, to do the right thing, but like I said, I was hanging out with my friends. I'm seeing my friends, they they start the day out with $300, and then later on that day, what I'm saying, they got $1,200, $1,000. I'm like, man, this is easy. I'm talking about, and these are my friends that like I played sports with, I grew up with.
uh,
Um, a couple of my friends tried college, but then they came back home. Uh, so Paris is a place, man, that we always call home. So you feel comfortable coming back to home. So man, I seen I seen that there was money to be made. I seen that you know, at least, I came from the military, and I can use this, like I had a little structure though, you
okay,
know. I had a little structure. But man, I when I came home, man, it was get some money. I mean, all my friends was,
yeah.
either you was selling drugs or you was getting high, one of the two.
Yeah, so you definitely won't gonna be one of the ones that's getting high. So you started, actually you told me that, and like a smart guy, like you said, you had a different point of view because you had been other places. So you decided, okay, well, if they're paying this much for their drugs, I'm gonna just get everybody to buy them from me. And
Yes.
That's how you.
Eventually, that's where it came from. I mean, that's what it got to. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a couple other guys in my town too that was handling their business as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, there comes a point in time you just don't want to just hustle rocks. You know what I'm saying, all the time. I mean, you want to move up. Like
Yeah.
Nas said, a drug dealer's destiny is reaching a key.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was the thing to do. And there was a handful of people in my hometown that reached that status though, and I'm saying
Uh-huh.
and we're only 10,000 people in our town though, so out of 10,000 people, you would think what numbers say maybe 2,000 probably get high, so we're all trading this money. That's how this thing is
Okay.
flipping. It's
Yeah.
flipping fast. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, and as we know, you can you can cite any song. All good things must come to a stop. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you had a nice little run, and then you end up getting incarcerated for um what was it
I
for?
got initially, man, the first time I got incarcerated for trafficking cocaine.
Okay.
Um, we had a local guy here, man, that everybody trusted, because mind you, if you live in a town of 10,000 people, it's hard to bring some informant in that town, and
And
because everybody knows everybody, you know what I mean? Like we all deal with the same people. So, man, we ended up having this one guy, man, he ended up getting pulled over and, he ended up telling on all of us because we all dealt with him. You know what I mean? So he ended up getting all of us jammed up, man. So um, I went to prison, and being that I was a first time felon at that particular time, I got to go to in Kentucky back then. We used to have like a boot camp that you could go to if
okay.
you was a first time felon. So I went as a first time felon. Uh, did
And
12 months. Did 12
12,
months.
12 months.
Yeah.
That was after how long after you came home though? Did you find yourself in that situation? After how many years from 1994 until
Um, it was 4 years. 4 years.
so during that prison time, did your mindset change any time, or did you find yourself getting more involved with criminal aspirations as, as you stayed? Did that say, okay, well, this ain't life for me, or it was like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna study this game some more so I won't get caught the next time. How was it for you?
Yes. Yes, that's what it was. It was when you get incarcerated, man, in the state prison, man, you go into state prison and you're in there locked up with everybody in your we got 120 counties, in the state of Kentucky.
Okay,
So you in there with everybody from Kentucky. Um, we always had a lot of guys from Cincinnati in our state prison as well because Cincinnati borders
so close.
northern Kentucky.
Okay,
So, man, I just was networking, man. Like 12 months wasn't enough for me. That didn't teach me a lesson. I was networking, but what I did do is I sharpened my tools because the next time that I came back out there, then that's when I was really getting it for real.
okay. So you got out, and then you use your connects to kind of step it up a level, as we say. You know what I'm saying? You step the game up, and so you was out there getting money. And then how long did that run last?
Hey man, it seems like everything for me is in 4 year span,
Yeah.
Um, but this time I got incarcerated. I got a I got 110 months. I got a 110-month prison sentence because I didn't how the feds go. They go off criminal history points and stuff, man. So I ain't never really been in too much trouble. I mean, little possessions of marijuana and stuff like that, but you got a lot of people that run around that gets felony, 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 felony. No, I wasn't like that.
So basically, so you caught a Fed case within four
Yes,
years.
yes.
And that Fed case, 110 months. They always give it to you in months, so you got to calculate it. So that's about
So it's
uh,
almost 9 years.
almost 9 years. And so
Hmm.
off that 9 years, how long did you do off the nine
I
years?
did. I did 7.5.
7.5.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a long time, and we almost at the break, our first break. So we're going to get into, after the break, we're going to get into a little bit of, how that time affected you, how it affected your family, your children, and then we're going to come, to your transition point of, getting out, and the trials that you face getting out, and then we're going to move on to how that you're how you're using everything that you've been through in life to kind of help others. I see you got on your shirt Justice for Juvie. We definitely going to talk about that. We got
Yes, sir.
to break, but I definitely, man, and there's something that I always talk about small towns, and even not even small towns, but um the results when we're good in sports, or everybody's good in sports, and we don't make it to that next level, then a lot of us fall, like you said earlier, victims to the street. So we definitely going to talk about that too, how we put so much emphasis on sports, and if we don't make it in sports, and we feel our life is over in a lot of instances. But it's definitely not. But we want to thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, you are listening to the U-Turn Show. I am your host, Richard A. Taylor. You're listening on WBIS, awesomeradio.org. Just stay with us. Feel free to call in, interact with the show, 252-756-2008. And we're going to be right back with you, Mr. William Josie Wells, on the other side of the break. Thank y'all for tuning in. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, we on station break, but we're still live on Facebook. If any of y'all are watching on Facebook, feel free to comment. I can't see.
I
Um,
can't either. I can't see.
I can't see any comments or anything because we're in the studio. I am not in the studio this week. I am back. I am traveling in Maryland, so I don't see all of the viewers or the comments. So the the owner of the engineer is actually in the studio. So I'm gonna try to log on Facebook with my phone and see if anybody's watching. But the owner of the so yes, I can't do it like that. But yeah, so make sure y'all interact with the show if y'all are watching, and we're gonna be right back on break in a few minutes, man. But yeah, man, I'm loving the combo, man. I'm loving the
Thank
combo.
you, man. Thank you.
Okay, so much respect. Wells has big purpose in living it out. Buck Woodford said
Buck
that.
Woodford, man. That's uh that's one of the homeboys from Paris, man. He's actually, he's a white guy,
Uh-huh.
but man, he's a good guy, man. He's great guy, man. He loves sports. He loves our Paris sports. So
Uh-huh.
man, shout out to Buck, man. Buck used to come and watch my son play all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, I know you get a lot of love in the community, man, because I you know.
Well, I mean, I get, you know how it is, man. It's either love you or hate you, one of the two, man. Because when you try to promote change, man, a lot of people don't like somebody coming in, man, and trying to change stuff, man. So I know I done ruffled a lot of feathers, man. But I mean, that goes with the territory, man.
Yeah, you got to keep it up, man. You can't make everybody happy. That's one thing you gotta realize when you're trying to make change. There's some people who benefit off of the way things are. Whether they are good or bad. So, man, just keep it up, man. I already, like I said, I already see, the fire and the passion.
WBISLP 106.9 FM. Awesome radio.
So we're about to go back. Yeah, we are back from break 106.9 FM Awesome Radio, WBISLP. Here on the U-Turn Show, I'm your host, Richard Taylor, with my special guest, William Josie Wells from Paris, Kentucky. And we're going to continue the conversation.
Oh wait.
4-8. That's right. We're going to talk about the 4-8.
Yeah, yeah, man.
So basically, We were talking about, how on your second stint in prison you received 7.5 years. What was that charge for?
Man, I had a conspiracy case, a conspiracy on 2 kilos of cocaine.
Oh, so they gave you conspiracy, which is, anything could be a conspiracy. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I,
that's a,
yeah, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying that's just a catch-all. You know what I mean? That's,
Yeah. If I call you, be like, hey man, how much is a kilo? And you tell me it's 20,000, then we could get conspiracy just for that, those words. So we're not
yeah,
into to that. So you received 7.5 years. How was that time, man? It was, you know,
man. At that particular time,
and how old were
it,
you?
uh, I was 33.
Okay.
Yeah, I was no 31, 31. Um, but man, it was tough, man. I had 3 children. I got 2 girls and a son. When I'm standing there and I'm taking the time, man, the first thing I did was I was just calculating in my head like when my kids would graduate high school, you
Mm.
know, and my oldest daughter graduated, while I was incarcerated, and she was my oldest daughter was she was a track star, man. She could run. She had aspirations of running. You know how it is, man. When daddy leaves, man, it's a different ball game, for females sometimes.
Definitely.
Especially the older ones that's in high school and stuff, man. They go looking for love in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my daughter ended up getting pregnant while she was in high school, and so when I came home, I had a grandson. You know, but I had another daughter that she plays sports as well. My youngest daughter. Um, when I got out, I think she was in the 10th grade. She was a sophomore.
Okay.
You know, and then my youngest son, man, he was an 8th grader, man, and
Got out. He was in the 8th grade.
yeah. But my whole time doing time though, man, you got to realize I was from Kentucky, man. They sent me, I got on that Conair, got on that airplane, that looks like it's got tape all on the wings and everything. Got on that, man, and they sent me down to Beaumont, Texas. So, if there's anybody on here that knows about Beaumont, Texas, man, they know Beaumont, Texas. They call it Bloody Beaumont. Um, it's a lot of gangs, it's a lot of Mexican gangs and stuff that's going on down there in that Texas area down there.
Uh-huh.
And, when you're in the feds, man, everybody rides in a car. It's called a car. So you roll with your homeboys. Man, I didn't have no homeboys down in Texas. I wasn't, I requested to go home in Kentucky because we got a state, we got a prison in Kentucky, but
Uh-huh.
my co-defendants, the guys that told on me and stuff, man, they allowed them to go there, so they sent me all the way across, so that's how it is sometimes. But I went down to Texas. When you're in the feds, man, people want to see your paperwork, man. They want to see if you
Yeah.
legit or not. You
Yeah.
know,
Definitely.
that's a big thing in the feds, man. So once everybody seen my paperwork, seen I was a cool dude, man. I was,
Yeah.
I wasn't on no funnies, man. I'm all about sports, man.
Yeah.
We keeping it 100, man. To pass the
Yeah.
time away, man. I ran tickets, man. That's what I
Oh
did.
yeah.
Sports tickets. I mean, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, I went down to Texas, man. I started in Texas. I stayed down there for a couple years, and then I was able to come back up to Manchester, Kentucky, which was beautiful because I was able to get more visits.
Okay.
My son came and visited me one time down in Texas. Um, I cherish that. I mean, that picture was I cherish. That's one of the pictures I cherish right now.
Yeah.
But once I got to Kentucky, my prison bit got a little better, man, because I was getting visits every weekend. I was just, trying to sharpen my mind because at that
Okay.
time, man, at that time, I wasn't worried about trying to get out and be on no foolishness, man, because I had a teenage son that I had to get out here to. I had 2 daughters, man, that I had to get out here to.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Like, how did the fact, because the first thing that you mentioned was your kids when you were receiving the time. So I assume when when you're calculating that, you're already looking towards the future. You got 7.5 years to do. So did that play a major part in you determining when you got out? Like you said, you wasn't going to be on any foolishness. The fact that you had children and you're going to use that time wisely to kind of build your mind up, build yourself up, so you can be out. To kind of make up for the time that you lost.
Yeah, yeah, man. But one thing that I've learned, man, and I'm 49 years old. So one thing that I've learned is, man, really you can't do stuff for other people, man. You got to do it for yourself first, because if you ain't doing it for yourself, then all that other stuff means nothing, man. And
Like,
so, I was lucky. I was in a relationship with someone, man, for that whole time. It was someone that held me down that whole time, right?
okay.
But man, when I got out, man, 7.5 years, man, that ain't the same. Y'all ain't the same people no more. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, we're kind of like totally two different people, man. So, one of the things that I was grateful for was I was able to find my fiance, someone who kept me grounded and held me accountable though, because I'm the type of person, man, I got to be held accountable because I've been used to handling my own business, doing my own thing. But,
Okay.
um, once I found someone, man, that held me accountable, it got me kind of on the straight and narrow, man, to the point to where, I mean, man, when I first got out, I was a janitor. I cleaned toilets. You know what I'm saying? I did I did whatever it was, man, to try to get an honest check,
Yeah.
Um, then it came to the point that I wanted to be a business owner, man. I was in the feds with a lot of people that was business owners. I felt like that, I could be a business owner,
Mm-hmm.
So me and my significant other, man, we started A&W Custom Apparel, which we did like custom shirts, screen printing, stuff
Okay.
like that.
So
So go ahead.
now you go ahead.
No, I'm saying that was selling the shirts, man, gave me the addiction feel of doing a hand to hand with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to find something to do that gave me that same kind of rush, you know.
Yeah.
So, at that particular time, man, our t-shirt business, man, we were just starting, man. We was working in the garage, man. The garage I'm in right now, we was working in the garage. So my son's sports teams, man, my son was a freshman at the time. So,
Uh,
our teams was doing good. Man, I got this bug. The teams was doing good. So we would make shirts with like Lil Johnny's mama on the back, That's kind of how we started,
yeah.
And it got to the point, man, to where the whole city was rocking our shirts. We got some of the major businesses around here. They shop with us at our store. So, the me owning my own business, you know, gave me the satisfaction of
That.
of of being, yeah,
And
of
we got about 45 seconds to break. But when we come back, we're gonna get into your shirt that you have on now. We're gonna talk about that. But I can definitely relate to that hand to hand. People wonder why I go out and sell books like I do. Like when you bought a book from me, like I
yeah,
just realized that's what happened. That's what's happened. I'm getting that same rush. But
yeah,
so that, I mean, you just because people ask me, why don't I do it this way? Why don't I do it this way? I love just, what I'm saying, that hand to hand transaction. So, but yeah, we're definitely going to get back into the business aspect, and also the catalyst, the motivation behind your shirt and what you are doing now for the community. So we're going to get back on our last 20-second break. Stay with us here on the U-Turn Show with my special guest, William Josie Wells. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Guys.
hey,
Yeah,
how hey, man,
yeah.
hey, this is really the first time that I've like had somebody interview me. You know what I mean? So, this is something new.
It's just a conversation, just like we was talking, an hour ago. So this is the last 20-minute segment on the radio. So, if our conversation's still going on, we can go a little bit over time, you know, because I feel like we kind of behind, you know what I mean, in the storyline anyway, because we're just getting into the situation for your son. So we should, that's up to you though if you want to keep it going past the hour time limit, because I know you got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, man, I don't go in tomorrow till 11, man. So that's cool.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if the conversation keep going, and we can stay on a little bit on the face. We'll be off the radio, but we'll still be on Facebook Live. So whoever's watching will be able to see, the video from start to finish. But now we're on break. So whoever's on Facebook, once again, we thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. The best part of the show is actually coming up. So y'all stay with us. We should be back from break in about.
She says she's off break.
Yes, welcome back. You're back 106.9 FM, Awesome Radio, WBIS. You're tuned into the U-Turn Show with your host, Richard Taylor. And we have a special guest from Paris, Kentucky. I just love saying Paris, Kentucky. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Hey, you ain't never said that before.
I know. With William Josie Wells, man. So, and we're talking about your transition from prison and coming home to your son. And we spoke a lot about your son. And he was actually a great athlete as well.
Yes, sir, man. He was one of my inspirations, man. When I was incarcerated, it was, I couldn't get out, man, at 40 some years old, man, and not be in shape. So he was one of my reasons that I was knocking out 800,000 push-ups, a day. I mean, that's what we did. So, he was one of my major inspiration, because I wanted to come out and see my little man play sports, So, when I came home, he was taller than everybody, but he was real skinny, So, we worked out, because, getting out of prison, man, I couldn't get out and try to be like a drill instructor. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I do it? And I've been gone, since you was, and going into first grade. So, I had to do what he liked doing. And at 13 years old, he loved sports. So, me and him used to get up, go down to our local YMCA, go work out. Because as a freshman, he didn't start as a freshman at the beginning of the season in basketball, but then towards the end of the season, he started starting.
As a freshman?
Yeah, as a freshman, man.
For varsity, on varsity.
Yeah, man. Because like I said, listen, man, we got a small town, so our school we got like 400 kids like in our whole school system. So we might only have 30 boys, in the high school at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? So, and in our school system, you got to learn how to play young, and you got to know the game, man, because you're going to be called upon as a freshman to start playing. So, that's what he did, man. He played
sports. He played football and basketball.
He played football, he played basketball, and he ran track.
Okay, and he was a standout in all three sports.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. He was a heck of an athlete, man. Going into like our his senior year of basketball. Going into his senior year of football, his mother got diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
And that's when I kind of started seeing a change in him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But what kid wouldn't be devastated by that? You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Your father's been gone for those years, and then now you're hearing about your mother having cancer. So going into his senior year of high school, man, it was tough on my son. It was football season at that particular time, and he over the summer he had went to a lot of camps. He had went to a lot of football camps, and he was a Division I wide receiver. You know, he was 6'3". He was real skinny, but I mean, he was real strong. You know, he was strong for his stature. Um, but you know, one of the requirements to go to college is passing your ACT. So you know, like I said, he had a lot going on, man. He would take the test. He would get so close, man, and it got to the point to where, at this particular time, though, I don't even know this, man. I don't know all of this stuff. I mean, all I do is just still seeing him excel on the court. Our high school team actually won the state championship his senior year.
Okay.
We're a single A school, like I said, a small school. So we had like a state tournament. Our Paris team won that for the first time ever in history.
Okay.
He got the MVP of the whole tournament, and I mean that was a big thing for us, man. That was like one of the proudest moments of my life. To see your son, man, someone that looks like you, be a better athlete than you and excel, in that high school ranks like that, man, I had a smile, man, from ear to ear, man. We wouldn't be here right now, man. My business wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for the way my son played in sports and the way his teams performed, because, we sold a lot of shirts, man, because of our sports team.
That's good, man. So he was definitely a catalyst, for the business, and he's also once again the catalyst for your work in the community now. Because we keep saying was because we haven't even spoke about it yet. But your son was eventually murdered or killed, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's a hard subject, so if you want to, kind of,
Man, like thinking back on it, man. I had opportunity, man. The Lord works in mysterious ways, man. I'm not real religious, man, but I know that there is a God, man, because I wouldn't be standing here right now talking to you right now. One of the things that bothers me is, my son got killed in the streets, man, and he's not he wasn't no hustler, man. You know what I'm saying? He was a young kid trying to find himself, I feel like, and it happens a lot in a lot of towns after I've done talked to a lot of people, man, when you've been put on a pedestal, man, and things don't go your way, like when you fall, man, you crash hard, So, my son was trying to find his way, man, after high school. He graduated high school, and he was trying to find his way, man. And, we when COVID hit in, when was that, 2000, when COVID hit, I had my business, my t-shirt business was shut down. So I had an opportunity, man, to take my son with me, and we went up to Wisconsin. We was up in Wisconsin, and we were changing out gas meters.
Okay.
And at that particular time, man, it was during COVID, so a lot of stuff was shut down, man. So people wasn't making no money. We was making good money, on the road up there in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So, he was with me, man, for 3 months. We stayed in an Airbnb. I mean, now that I look back on it, man, he probably didn't like the fact, that I had him up there working. But I was just trying to show him, that look, man, there is a better way than just the streets,
Yeah.
Plus, when you come back home, you're gonna have more money than what your friends has got, because a lot, these days, man, a lot of kids they're just addicts, man. They hustle just to take care of themselves, They're not hustling with a purpose. I mean, and I'm not trying to say, hustling is the right thing to do, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
If
If you're gonna do it,
Yeah. So you said,
And
so this was 2019 when I was in Wisconsin?
no, we was in Wisconsin in 2020.
Oh,
We was in Wisconsin in 2020. So that
this
was
really happened.
my son got killed December 21st in 2020.
2020. So that it hasn't even been a year yet.
Nah, man, it had been a year.
How old was he? How old was he?
21 years old.
21.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, 21 years old. And like I said, man, we've been sitting here joking about, how small of a town Paris is. But when my son got killed, man, he was the first teenager ever shot. I still call him a teenager, man, because society deems you to be an adult at 18, 21 years old, man. You're not no adult at 18, 21 years old. I don't feel, not everybody now. Some people, some kids are. Some people grow up, but
Mm-hmm.
but some kids aren't, man. So, man, he got killed, man. Like we got the phone call that, and, I mean, there was something just over me that was like, he's not going to make it, simply because I know he's a fighter, man. He's real tough. And, one of my homeboys called me and he was like, man, you got to hurry up and get over here. You got to get over here. And I mean, what are you talking about? And he was like, man, your son's been shot. And by him not telling me, that he's talking to me, or you know what I'm saying, or he's coherent, or he knows who done it, man, I kind of knew, man. So, man, it took me so long, man, to get to the hospital because I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go, man. And I mean, one of the hardest things right now, man, is for me is, like I said, is all the drugs that I done sold in my lifetime, man, and all the encounters that I done had. Nothing. I don't have a scratch, man, from the game, man. Like physically, I mean, mentally, I'm all messed up because incarceration and everything. But it's tough, man. Our whole city is devastated. Our whole city was devastated. And I mean, it's something that every day, man, somebody is always posting something about my son, man, on Facebook, man. The
And my
the, the good thing.
mother
Go
said,
ahead.
no, my mother said, I'm reading the comments that my mother said, sorry, so sorry for your loss. And,
Thank you, man.
and
Thank you.
too, because like I said, at 21, man, like you said, we're always trying to find ourselves. And I got countless stories, man, from Goldsboro to Virginia to wherever you go, where high school athletes, after they don't, like you said, they've been put on a pedestal and they don't make it to where they think they should or everybody expect them to go, then they once again, like you said, they spiral fast, whether it's being in the streets, whether it's getting hooked on drugs, whether it's going to jail, shooting somebody or being killed. There's so many countless stories that we see like this. So I just want to encourage you, like, there's nothing, that you did wrong, as far as, being a father, because, even though you made your mistakes, a lot of time we blame, ourselves, or what could I have done different? I just want to give you that encouragement right here, personally, that
Man,
that there's, what I mean, it's because my mother, who just said that, like, I was the same way. I was very smart in school, very good in sports, and by 19 and 20 I was being arrested for robbery, being shot, and I know what's going through her head, like, what is wrong with this boy, you know what I mean? So I just
yeah.
give you that it just occurred to me when my mom said that. I didn't
Right,
mean,
man.
but I just want to give you that encouragement because I know I haven't been through that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what goes on your mind on a daily, but I'm pretty sure sometimes you like, Dad, what could I have done different? You know what I'm saying? Just like you
Uh,
mentioned taking him to Wisconsin, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what you did. You know what I'm saying? Like you put forth effort, but I just wanted to interject. I'm so sorry, man, but uh,
no, no, man. I listen, man. I've had a lot of people, man, that reach out to me that give me those same encouraging words, man. Like, man, I remember when my son went, the first time that it was like on Facebook or something, man. Man, this guy, man, he reached out to me, man, from Ohio.
uh-huh.
Didn't know me from Adam, you know, didn't know me from Adam, and he gave me his testimony about his son. His son OD'd, and he felt my pain, man. And this guy drove all the way from outside of Dayton, Ohio, man, to come and see me, man. You know,
Yeah.
and I mean, and when that happened, when he done that, man, it 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 kind of changed me a little bit. It made me to where I wasn't as negative. Because mind you, man, the people that killed my son, man, they were out running around, man, for like 2 weeks. Um, and what was going through my head was, man, this there's no way that someone in my hometown killed my son. Like, and come to find out, it was some guys from another town. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a hard thing to deal with, man. Like, we were running around like, man, what happened? What happened? What happened? Um, so, man, it's
So they did get the people.
yes, man. Everybody. It was a girl. She was a driver, and it was two guys. And it was a robbery, man. They tried to rob my son. You know, um, my son's the type of person, man. He's not going to let you take nothing from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
We got we,
unfortunately.
we got about 5 minutes to close it on the radio, but once again, we're probably going to keep it going. But I do want to, because we just talked about something that was very influential about your brother, your younger brother, and your nephew.
Yeah, man.
Give the people the short version of that, real quick.
Okay, man. Well, I got a younger brother that, as like I said, when I was out in the streets, I wasn't a great role model, because as he was growing up, he seen me out riding on Caprices, on 22s, 24, rim candy paint, all of that. So
Yeah,
I was a bad influence, right? So ultimately, man, my little brother got into the same cycle that I was in. He got incarcerated, and when he got incarcerated, he had he had a little girl and he had a little boy, and the little girl, she went with his aunt, and the little boy, he came with me. You know, Now at this time when I had him, he was real little. We was going to my son's games and stuff, uh, there's football and basketball. So he grew up, with Jacoby. That was Jacoby and Baby B. My little nephew's name's Baby B.
yeah,
Um, so my brother, he did a fair bit, man. So I had my nephew when he was 6 months old, and now he'll be 7 in 5 more months. So he's been in my household with me and my fiance and my stepdaughter. He's been living with us. So my brother was in the halfway house when my son got killed. And prior to my son getting killed, I had talked to my brother, and I'm like, look, man, I've been holding you down. I've been having your son. I need you to get out, man, and look out for my son, man, because you know how it is, man. Sometimes, man, when you get to a certain point, man, father and son, you start colliding and stuff, man. So he ain't trying to hear what I'm saying. I'm not trying to hear what he was saying. So I was using my brother, because he looked up to my brother, because my brother rapped, you know. So
hmm
the whole time I was incarcerated, he looked up to my brother. So, man, like, my brother didn't get to. He was in the halfway house. He didn't get to come to the funeral, um, because it was COVID, because of the COVID protocols. And, he had told me, he was like, man, like I said, when my son passed, man, he was like, look, you've been doing a good job, with my son, man. He said, man, you keep him, man, and, you grow old with him. So, man, that's one of the best things, man, that's keeping me going right now. Yes, I do have other kids. I have grandkids as well, but they're not in my household every day. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And 1 second, man, because the radio show, we're about to be on air on radio, but we're going to continue on Facebook Live, so all of our Facebook Live listeners continue on. I want to thank you guys once again on the radio for listening to the U-Turn Show. I'm your host, Richard A. Taylor. You have been here with Wiz and Josie Wells. WBIS 106.9 FM. Join us next week, 10 p.m. But we're still on Facebook, so go ahead with that. He pretty much,
No, man, I like anybody that knows me, man, knows that I'm a sports guy, man. If it wouldn't be for sports, no telling where I would be at. I mean, I know where I would be. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. And I can envision, me growing up with my nephew and, kind of getting another shot, man, at trying to be a better parent, because there's nothing, there's not, like you said, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about what I could have done better. But ultimately, man, I believe in, that the Lord felt that my son was too good of a kid, man, to be living that type of lifestyle, man, and he needed him.
yeah.
And if it wasn't for stuff like that, then I don't know how I could make it though, Richard, man, honestly.
Yeah, man, definitely, man, and I see you. I've actually, been. You're probably the guest that I've talked to the most on before the interview, because normally I just I try to find out stuff as I'm doing the show, but I guess we just started talking and talking. So you're actually one of the guests that I've really talked to more than anybody else, before the show. So that's why I had, so much, because the story is so intriguing, man. And so I would have to say I went through your Facebook page like the day after talking to you, and I saw all the videos with you at the games and you with the kids and stuff. So it's good because I wore this shirt too. It's neighborhood hope dealer. You know what I'm saying? And you
Yeah,
always praise the neighborhood dope dealer.
right.
We've sold dope, but now we're dealing in hope. And I see you out there with the kids cheering them on at the games. All out there with the parents doing commentary. So I see that you're using, even your son as an inspiration in his absence to kind of push other kids forward and inspire others. How are some ways that you are continuing to do that?
Well, see,
Comparison.
one thing that I could say was, you know, a lot of people know me through my son. You know, they seen the athlete that he was, and they would see me front row. So a lot of the doors that's being open for me right now wouldn't have happened, man, if it wasn't have been for the kind of kid that my son was, for real. Because a lot of our hometown people here are helping me with trying to make change around here, man. But because like I said, nothing like that has never happened before, man. Like when Jacoby was killed, man, it was all on the news. They were saying, former athlete, and everybody knew him for sports, man. He was a great kid, man. He had a great family that took care of him, man. When I was gone, he was a great kid, man. So my thing is, man, I don't want no other parent, man, to feel the pain, man, that me and his mother, his stepfather, my fiance, his sisters, you know, man, I don't want nobody to feel that pain no more, man. So if there's any gift that I have in me, my gift is sports, man. I pride myself on knowing what I'm talking about when it comes to sports.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I hear you commentating on the sidelines, like, hey,
yeah, yeah. So,
this guy
and
ain't
like I said, man, the thing that's special about us here, man, is we got a small town. I keep saying that all the time. So we know everybody's DNA and everybody's pedigree. You know what I mean? So when these kids start coming up, we know, well, oh, this kid can play here. This kid can play here. And that's what I want to be a part of, man, because I missed all that with my boy. When he was first grade through eighth grade, I missed the helmet when it was too big for the helmet, for the head. I
yeah.
missed him not knowing how to put his knee pads in his pads, and his thigh pads in. I missed all of that, man. So this sports is therapy for me.
Yeah, yeah. And so but you're also getting the chance to relive that a little bit with little baby B, with your little
Yeah,
nephew.
baby B, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. He's just now starting out, man. He's one of the things about baby B, man, is he looked up to Jacoby, man. So every day he said, "Did Jacoby catch the ball like this? Did you know?"
Ah, man.
And I mean, it breaks my heart though, man. Sometimes, man, but I mean, I'm glad that I have someone, man, to keep trying to push for, because like I said, I got children, man, but they're grown. They got their own kids and their family and stuff, man. So I got somebody though that really needs me like every day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And that makes me feel wanted, and that makes me I mean, it kind of helps me out a whole lot.
yeah,
Helps
man.
me out a whole lot.
Definitely,
But
man.
I tell you, man, one of the things that happened here, man, was that really got me into kind of like being like a little advocate or whatever, man, for my town was,
Okay.
we had a high school football position
All
that
right.
opened up, right? And we had two African American guys that now mind you, the previous coach, he was a black coach. But we had two African American coaches, and I'm not saying this is racial, but I mean when I tell you the story, you can take it how you want.
Okay.
There were two African American guys that I know personally. I know both of them. I know how much time that they put in with the youth here in our hometown. Um, most of these kids, man, they had them since they were first graders, and now they're eighth graders now this year. We had a high school football job come open, and neither one of those guys even got an interview. You know, so that really rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not saying that they should initially got the job, but I'm saying they should at least got an interview,
Mm,
simply off of they both worked in the school system and they both were with these kids. You at least owe these guys an interview. So man, I go Facebook Live, man, and actually, man, I just bloop out, man. I talk about stuff, man, that happened 25 years ago. It was just something in me, man. It was like, look, we can really make a change around here. Y'all not gonna just keep on doing whatever y'all want to do.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I go Facebook Live, man, and there were a lot of other powerful people in our hometown that felt the same way I did, but they ain't gonna get on Facebook and say it, you
Yeah.
know. But me, I'm looking at it like, what do I got to lose, man?
Yeah.
I lost my son. I just lost my son.
Yeah. See, a
You
lot of
know,
lose like businesses or support from people or reputation or flashback, but that's definitely, you know what I'm saying, that's what we got to do though. People like yourself who not afraid to lose nothing or don't got anything to lose, to speak about stuff that you feel is wrong and that everybody knows is wrong but won't say it for fear of loss. So I
right?
definitely commend you on that. And so you and what did that do for you
So
as you
man, so ultimately, man, like 1.5 thousand people watched this rant. I mean, I went on a rant for like an hour and a half. You know,
yeah.
I mean,
I think I
now,
too. I think I have.
now, I mean, the thing was, man, I feel as if you can talk forever if you're telling the truth. You know, if you got to make up stuff, then that's when you stumble over words and all of that other stuff. But man, when I'm just telling the truth and stuff that needs to be told, this ain't stuff that just I came up with, man. It was stuff that, like I said, other people in higher positions than me in this town, but they just ain't gonna put their reputation on the line to go out there, and say that. I did. So ultimately, both guys got an interview. Ultimately, the one guy got the job.
Okay.
You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So what made me proud about that is that there's a lot of older black people, man, in my hometown that commended me, man, for stepping out there You know what I'm saying? And putting this out there to the point to where, because they wasn't gonna get the job, man. They wasn't. I mean, he was not gonna get a job. He wasn't even gonna get an interview. So basically, man, I actually off of the Facebook Live, I actually had our superintendent set me up he set me up a meeting with the principal who actually hires the coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went in there and talked to the principal, man. He was a new guy at that particular time. He'd only been there like a year. You know, I had to explain to him, you know, the history of our school and all that stuff, man. And ultimately, man, he hired the coach, man, that I wanted, you know, for us to be coach. And it wasn't just that I wanted; it was other people that wanted him as well. Uh, so now, man, you know, I feel like, I mean, that's not like a notch in my belt or nothing like that. But I mean, what it is it's just someone with a checkered past like myself. You know, my hometown has seen me, man. I've been out for 10 years now.
Okay.
So by me being out of prison for 10 years and me having a reputable business in our hometown, that meant something, man, you know, and you know, and when other successful people in our hometown link up with me and we go and we get stuff started down here in our hometown, man, that's making me proud right now, man. And I know my son is like shining down, man. He's laughing and he's liking this, man, because he knows that I run my mouth. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I tend to only talk about stuff that I know about, man. I don't talk about stuff I don't know about. So if I know something and I'm passionate about it, man, I'm going to try my best, man, to make it happen.
Yeah, and I see that in you. And let's talk about the four. Whether you want to go with the 4-8, explain to people what the because that's what I mentioned. You had on the 4. You know what I'm saying? The 4.
Yeah, man. Man,
Explain to
what
me
the
what 4-8 is.
so what the 4-8 means? It's okay. Back in the days, man, when I was out there hustling, right? The I used to have a scanner, and every time the police would come into the area where we was hustling at, they would call it the 148 zone. So, you know, a lot of people in our hometown, you know, they ran with that, man. They got it tattooed on them and stuff, you know. Um, so that was the name of our zone, was the 148 zone, right? So when
Okay.
I get out of prison, my son is talking to me about the 148 and all of this old stuff, and
So
and
basically,
and one of the go ahead.
yeah. Because y'all were basically like all the while you was in prison, he was hearing, you know, pretty much about you and what you used to do, which kind
Yeah,
of
man.
steer him that way. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna allude to that, man. Like
Okay.
one of the problems that you have in a small town, man, is you know, people like to glorify what you done in your past.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the problems here in my town is, you know, like people, you know, people were telling my son about stuff about me, you know, so when I get out, man, he's looking at me as like I'm some kingpin or something.
Mm-hmm.
When all actuality, man, that ain't what it was for real, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So uh it's man, and when I think about that, man, it really pisses me off, man, because I don't I don't feel that it's my right to tell your son what you used to do in your past. You
Mm-hmm.
know, let me tell him that. You know, let me tell him that. So, you know, that's one of the problems, man, that we have in our town, man. We kind of glorify the wrong things when
That's
in
not
all actual,
your town though, but you know what I'm saying.
huh?
That's not just in your town though. That's all
Right,
across.
right. But you
Yeah.
know, one thing that makes it hard in our town is it's not that big, so you can't get away. You know what I'm saying? You can't get away. It's like you
Yeah.
know how it is, man. You walk the same neighborhood every day. You walk the same neighborhood every day. So you know, I feel as if, and one of the reasons why I want to work with the youth is because everybody out there, man, that I'm associated with right now either has a mother, father, uncle, somebody has been to prison, been to jail, been on drugs, you know, and that's the stigma that we fight here, man, in my hometown. You know, you may have some other you got a couple families, man, you know, that do the right thing, but I'm just talking about the kids that I interact with every day on a daily basis. Man, they're struggling, man. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
one of the jobs I'm not going to glorify what your dad used to do. You know, my job is to let you know the reason why that you run fast like you do is because your dad ran fast or your
Yeah,
mom ran fast. You
yeah,
know, that's what I'm trying to do now, man. I'm a real advocate for football. Like I don't know, like all throughout the United States, man, youth football, man, is being shunned on right now because of concussions and stuff like that, man. Kids are not playing football like they were when I was growing up.
yeah. We
Uh,
didn't concussions. We just played. We didn't.
yeah, man, we
What
just
a
we
concussion was. We done played through like I don't know how many concussions. You know what I mean?
right,
I remember.
right.
I know. Like thinking back now, like I remember hits I used to take on the field, and I wake up dizzy and spinning, and I didn't come out because you didn't want to come out. You didn't. You
No,
didn't let the coach know you was hurt. You know, you stayed. My neck stinging. Man, I hope this dude don't come through my hole again. Man, this play.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I need some time to shake it off. But I mean, I guess it's like I said, coming from my era is different. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe I did have some trauma. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm all right now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You know what
yeah.
I mean?
No,
But
yeah, I understand.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm all right. I made some dumb decisions. Maybe they did come from football. I don't know. But, we still got to give children a chance to have those injuries anyway. You know what I'm saying? To be able to get up from pain. You know what I'm saying? Because life is hard. Life is like football taught me a lot of lessons. You know what I'm saying? How to get up when you fall, how to play through pain. Life is full of pain. You're going to have to keep playing. So those are lessons that, football teaches us, so I'm proud of you, for advocating for that. While, like you said, it's being shunned on. I'm not that involved with, community sports, but
Right.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
No,
That
man. I mean, you still have your, I'm gonna say OGs. You still got your OGs, man, that are out there that are like myself though, that's trying to make a difference back in their community, albeit basketball, albeit football. Like like my fiance, she just got the head coaching job, man, of a high school girls basketball team,
that's
Uh,
the lady that
it's
with you when I met you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So did she
I'm
ball or she just
yeah,
she
yeah,
sports?
yeah. No, she balled, man. She came from our hometown. She came from our hometown in Paris, and she ended up going to University of Illinois Chicago playing basketball.
Okay.
Um, and then she ended up getting hurt, had a baby while she was there, came on back home. When I got out of prison, we kind of linked up,
That's it.
Um, but yeah, man, she coaches girls basketball, so we're a sports town, man. Like they just now came in the house, man, from a basketball,
Yeah,
basketball practice and
yeah,
everything, man. So that's what we do, man. Like I said, if it wasn't for sports in our hometown, man, I'm just speaking for us. When I say us, that I mean I don't know where our kids would be. Like we we're trying to change the narrative, man, because the narrative is, Paris has a lot of athletes, but don't nobody go nowhere. You know, everybody graduates to the streets,
yeah.
and as long as I'm here, man, I'm gonna try everything in my power, man, to make that change, man. Like,
Narrative.
you know,
Get them out of there. At least send them to college. At least.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah,
But once again, man, like it's funny because like I know it's you're focusing on your hometown, but like I've been so many places and seen so many things. Like that's the narrative everywhere. You know what I mean? Of course, because once it's only but so many slots anyway in the NFL or the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So, but it is a lot of colleges. So you have a much better chance of going to the college, than pro because going pro is very, very slim, point zero, whatever the percentage is
right,
athletes are going to get to the league, but just that experience is up. Like you said, that getting out of that hometown, that hometown mindset, even if it's just going, to Ohio to college, and that university or something, what, wherever they go, is definitely a big thing to get them, to another level, as they say. So,
Yeah,
that,
man.
man,
Yeah,
but
man.
I see that all over where, cats graduate and then, you see them like, what happened? Even if they may go to college, they may go to college for a year, then this thing, you say, well, I thought you was in college, man. Yeah, you know, it's that letdown, that letdown of not being okay. Well, you may be the biggest guy, the baddest guy in your high school, but when you get to college and play for the team, everybody's big and bad. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
yeah.
you gotta really stand out, or you gotta really say, okay, well, I'm not the big man on the team no more. You know what I'm saying? You have to. It comes with a level of humility to be able to say, well, okay, well, yeah, I'm the third option now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Behind this guy now, and a lot of people are not built for that. But with guys like yourself, it's to kind of instill that in them. You know what I mean? Well, hey, when you go off to school, you might not be the best, but hang in there. That guy, he may, you might have to play behind him for 2 years, but then you're gonna be the starter. So there's so many things, man, that we can do to change that narrative. And I
Yes,
just,
sir.
man, like I see the passion. Like I said, I see the videos. Like I said that you do. I see the Kentucky behind you, and I see he's serious about his sports now.
And
And
I mean, and to be honest, Richard, man, like you said, man, one of the things that I just want to advocate for, man, is what goes on in New York, what goes on in Richmond, VA, what goes on in Virginia Beach. My man, when I'm saying negative, all the negative stuff goes on everywhere, man. There might, the area we live in, like I said, either you a factory worker or you sell cars or something, to make a good living. Um, and but guess what, man? The same drugs are here that are everywhere else. The same the the same social media, the same phones. I mean, like, man, I just advocate sports, man, because that's an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours out of the day that your kid ain't on their phone. You know,
true.
uh, I advocate sports, man, because childhood obesity, man. We know due to COVID, we done had kids cooped up in the house, can't
Mm-hmm.
do, not doing anything. And I'm not just saying, man, play football. I am an advocate for football, but I mean, you got soccer now. Like, man, I'm from the old school, man, so it's hard for me to get with soccer because soccer wasn't played when I played. You know what I mean? When I was in school, wasn't nobody playing soccer. We was playing football or basketball or baseball or running track. We wasn't playing soccer, but soccer's a new sport now, man, and it's kind of taking over around here, man. So
Yeah.
sometimes
My daughter plays soccer now too, and I've been to the first two games, and I'm actually becoming a soccer fan and learning, about soccer and see. And the thing about soccer, it does involve a lot of running, so it is real good as far as like you mentioned, childhood obesity and those things like that, because you gotta run when you're playing soccer. So, um, yeah,
you gotta be tough. You gotta
I,
be tough too, man. Soccer's rough, man.
yeah,
Like I hear him talking about concussions, man. But you can get concussions in soccer as
yeah.
well.
Hitting your head, your ball hitting your head. They be kicking each other. They be running into each other too, like football. There's
Yeah,
one girl on my daughter team, like both games. She going after that ball. You better get out of the way because she don't care if you went her way or not. And they don't
right.
call penalties. Like it's not a penalty because she's not doing it purpose. Like she just going to the ball. And when she going, like if you her way, if y'all almost get that together, like you going down. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, you're right.
but
And
yeah,
one of the things that I see, man, is if you got a girl that plays sports, man, girls are aggressive. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? They're real aggressive.
yeah.
So
I don't know if you saw the girl who's playing tackle football now. Somebody told me about her that
Oh yeah, man.
she's running through them, and she's really playing like a dude out there. I haven't seen the video, but somebody told me about there's a girl, I mean probably a couple of girls right now, but yeah, they are aggressive though.
Yeah, man. Girls are aggressive, man. But yeah, I'm my man Richard, man. I'm after I met you at the outlets, man. I'm like there was something, man, to like attracted us together because usually, man, when I see people, selling stuff, I go on about my business. You know what I'm saying? I go on, man, but there was something there, man, that they kind of, and then when you kind of, you gave me a little brief synopsis of your story,
Mm-hmm.
and then I bought the book. My cousin got the book now. My cousin's reading the book before I can. You know what I mean? Like he was like, man, let me get that. So I give him the book first.
Yeah,
I'm a giving person. So
yeah, definitely.
so I let him get it. I let him get it first, man. But there was something that drew us together, man. And I have a passion, man, for kind of what we're doing now, and I got a shed in my backyard that I'm trying to get together. I'm getting it soundproof. I'm getting it insulated, and it's gonna be like my meat shed, man. So I'm gonna be doing like podcasts and
What's it
kind
called
of.
again? Give us the name again.
It's gonna be called On the Yard with Wells.
Okay.
Simply because I mean my shed's in the backyard, and then I've actually been on the yard before in state prison and federal prison. And when you're on the yard, that's when you go out there and you lift weights and you kind of try to get your mind right. You go network with other people, you walk the loop, you walk miles, y'all chop it up, and so that's what I want to do, man. I want to bring people on like yourself, introduce you to my fan base, the people who follow me, so you can tell your story, and I'm gonna have it up and running, man. It's I'm getting the insulation and I'm getting the drywall and stuff. So when I do something, I want to do it right, man. So that's why it's taking me a little time.
Take your time, man. Take your time, bro. I seen
Yeah.
the video, and because you told me about it when we first met. Like I said, it was
Right.
maybe what, like 2 months ago, maybe
Man,
2 months.
it was my birthday weekend, man. So it was July 22nd.
Yeah. So I had just done like my second show or whatever. But yeah, man, it was definitely a pleasure. And you told me about it. I told you, I said I'm gonna get you on the show, and I
You
didn't.
did.
I know I didn't know it was gonna be this soon, but something just compelled me to reach out to you. Um, a couple of days ago because normally I try to have my guests lined up, but I've been so busy traveling. So I'm gonna call my brother because I think I forgot what I saw. That said, yeah, I need to, so I need to get him up there, man. But I definitely want to thank you for taking the time. I know I probably the engineer ready to go and shut off the show
That's
as
what's
well.
up.
There, but man, I definitely want to thank you for taking the time to share your experiences. We definitely going to have to do this again on this show, on yours. But there's anything that you want to leave with the people before we go,
Man,
have
I
touch with and things of that nature.
man, I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity, man, to talk. I mean, talking is therapy for me. It's easier to talk to somebody that really don't know you, don't judge you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate this, man, and hopefully, you know, my my story, man, can help someone kind of, you know, transition from prison, back out, into society. I say one thing that you really have to do is one of the hard things, man, and when you get out of prison is trying to um, mess with a whole bunch of different girls and all of that because
Mm-hmm.
guess what it does to you, man. If you out here, yes, I mean I know you've been gone for a long time and everything, and you're trying to get back, but trying to be with somebody every other day. I mean, mess with all these different girls. All it does, man, is make you have to hustle because a 9 to 5 is not going to take care of you going out with this girl tonight, taking her out to eat, going out with this person tonight, going out with this person, this person. So one of the key things for me, man, was to find someone that that didn't put up with bull, didn't allow you to just run over top of them and do all of that type of stuff, man. I encourage a person, man, that slow your roll, man, and hopefully, we got a parent on here that they can see some type of signs in their kids, when something changes, and try to pry whatever that problem is, man. Because one of the things that I failed in was, when my son was struggling with the AC, just kind of prying and seeing what the problem was. I think about it all the time, and that's one thing that I'm moving forward. My thing is to try to get these kids educated, because if I can help one kid, man, I feel like I've done my job, because we've had so many fail. And, my son is an inspiration to me. He's an inspiration to everybody in our family. Anybody who's encountered Jacoby Wells, man, would say he's a great kid. We had a fun day for him, man, and we had, I would say probably almost 1,000 people that showed up periodically during the day, of all ethnicities, white, black, Mexican. It didn't make no difference, so, man, I just want to thank you, man, for giving me this opportunity, man. Like I said, this is kind of like therapy for me. It is therapy, and I wish, sometime, we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. We'll do it. We'll do it on there again. We definitely gonna do it on there, man. Because I got your number and everything locked in. And next time I'm coming through Kentucky.
Oh, you gotta stop and holler at me.
Yeah, I'm definitely can stop and holler at you, man. And
Yeah,
let you show me around the town, man. And so
most definitely.
also you got a screen print business. So that's just T-shirts.
Yeah, man, we do T-shirts, we do uniforms. We used to do like 1 and 2 shirts, man, but it got to the point, man, to where like our business kind of grew, man. So we're at the point now, man, where we're doing businesses, man. So that's awesome. It allows us to.
I just can't get one shirt. I got to order a group of shirts. I got to order.
Nah, man. Well,
100 packs.
No. I'm saying though, like my man, I can, you can get one fresh off the press, man, a 1-on-1, But I'm just saying, man. For the viewers out there, man, we started with 1 shirt, and now we actually got a project that we're doing 1,000 shirts for the YMCA in our hometown, man. So, that's awesome.
That's awesome, man. And much continued success. Hope your business continues to grow by leaps and bounds, man. And may God continue to bless you and comfort you, and and give you peace, and give you that healing, that healing process that you need, and put people in your life to kind of further you along, and kind of fill that void. I know the void can never be filled, what I'm saying, filled, but hopefully you'll continue to be busy. You'll be continue to be involved in things. You'll continue to be able, to interact with people, and use your testimony to not only help somebody else, but also help yourself in the process, bro. So I thank you for joining us, man. And we going
Thank you, bro.
But I definitely going to keep in contact with you, bro. You have a good night. And thank all of our listening viewers all the way from Paris, Kentucky to
Okay. All right.
Virginia, 4-8, the 4-8.
Yeah, there you go. All right, bro. Thank you, man.
Take care,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank